You're watching Barnstable this morning, and joining me now for our community profile is Mary Sarah Fairweather. She is the director of the MSPCA in Centerville, as well as Laura Hay, and you are the director of the campaign for a new facility.
Yes.
So excited to talk to you guys. You guys are in desperate need of a new facility. Tell me a little bit about why the project began, if you can.
I will say this, I have been with the MSPCA for 9 years, and our building has just gotten smaller and smaller and less efficient and less conducive to providing the great care that our organization wants to provide to every animal that comes through the doors. And the ability to be able to have a new facility has been something that the community's been asking for a long time, so we listen to them.
Well, and as we know, this is the only MSPCA facility here on Cape Cod, so you probably get visitors from all over the Cape, is that right?
That's absolutely right. We are the only open admission shelter on Cape Cod, which means that we do not ever close our doors to any domesticated animal. The only animals that we are not able to take include wildlife, and that's simply because we don't have a license, but we take all other domesticated animals, regardless of behavioral or health history.
Well, if we can, let's talk a little bit, Mary Sarah, about what kind of things you guys do at the MSPCA so everyone can get a feel for the types of services you provide.
Sure. So we shelter animals, and like I said, we're open admission, so any animal that needs a place has a place with us. So first and foremost, we provide sheltering for the animals and adoption services for those animals after they've gone through a medical and behavioral evaluation. But I think a lot of people don't realize that we are also a resource for the community for low-cost spay and neuter services for cats and pit bulls. We also have a very comprehensive food pantry for people that are going through a difficult time. And we also have a growing education program that will flourish in a new adoption center, and we're really looking forward to that.
And so that's something you really don't have the space for right now. So a new facility or a larger facility is really going to be important to that. What kind of education opportunities do you guys want to provide when you have that bigger facility?
Well, I think we want to focus on the children in the community. Those are our future animal advocates. And so we're looking forward to starting a couple of programs actually. Little Bookworms will be an incredible program for really little kids to come into the adoption center and read, we will read to them a book about an animal and with a slant towards animal welfare. And they'll also be able to engage with some of our shelter animals. So not only does the animal get rewarded with enrichment with these children, but they also learn something about the animals, and they learn from the book that's being read to them. So we're really excited to start that.
Well, and we all know that animals really do lower that blood pressure and sort of their stress reliever. So even for kids, this is a good benefit too, a sort of a win-win for everybody involved there.
It is, and we're also looking forward to starting summer camp. So I can tell you that our animal care staff will be thrilled when that starts, because the kids will actually be involved in caring for the animals and providing them with socialization and enrichment. So we anticipate that will start when we have a new adoption center.
And it's so exciting.
Oh no, I mean, the possibilities are so vast. We'll also be able to host lectures on animal advocacy and what they can do to help change the laws that protect animals. We'll also have lectures on caring for your pet or your cat or your rabbit or your dog or your lizard.
Yeah, it really knows.
And training and behavior training.
Yes.
Wow.
Which is something we can't currently do in our facility, but our facilities both in Boston and Methuen have expansive programs for training, and several of the programs that Mary Sarah just mentioned as well. So we have a format to follow, and we know how successful it can be.
I would think it is the reason you want to add training for animals. Do you think that some people sort of give up their animals when they're having difficulties, and so maybe if we could just get some of the behavioral issues under under control, that might help people keep their pet?
You really hit the nail on the head. One of the first questions that we ask people when they come in to surrender an animal is there anything that we can do to help you keep your pet? And sometimes we can help them, but sometimes we can't. And I think behavioral training is key to keeping pets in their homes. And, most people really love their pets and want to keep them.
Yeah,
so
they're like a member of the family, really.
Absolutely.
They are. So dog training, cat training.
Yeah.
I'm teased relentlessly, but training your rabbit. There's so many ways that we can help people with their animals.
And let's face it, human training.
Yes, yes.
Because really, when we're talking about animal training, a lot of times we're just teaching humans how to interact appropriately with pets.
Absolutely.
Isn't that true? Sometimes we just don't have the tools we need to help them. So this is really exciting. You guys are currently raising money. I know you've raised about $2.36 million, but
Correct.
you still have a long way to go because you're really
Yes.
looking to get to about $5 million.
Right. It's a $5 million campaign. $4 million of that is earmarked for the building process, design, construction, all of the pieces that go into building the new building. And $1 million of that is actually for the endowment. And that's really to sustain the mission of the MSPCA here on Cape Cod for the future. It's an opportunity for us to have income that will help provide the medical care for the animals and, quite frankly, to help keep the lights on.
Right.
You know, it's
Pay the taxes.
exactly. Well, and we're fortunate as a nonprofit.
Oh, that's true. You probably,
so,
yeah, that's right.
but we do. We are part of the MSPCA Angel, which is a much larger organization, and they really help fund the deficit that we run every year. It's an expensive endeavor to run an animal shelter.
Right, because not, it's taking a separate tack to looking at how you're funded. You guys raise all of the money, and then, like you said, you just have a deficit every year. So you're keeping sort of the fundraising efforts between the new building effort as well as sort of your day-to-day finances separate. So it's really separate, and so people, who may attend some of your fundraisers throughout the year, that's not really going toward the building fund. So how are you raising money for the building fund?
Right now, we're working mostly with individual donors and foundations that are interested in supporting the project. We're also creating small challenges. We had a naming opportunity in the new shelter called the Catio, which is a neat screened-in porch area where cats can sort of live like they live in our homes. They get some nice fresh air, they get to watch birds, and instead of being an individual naming opportunity, we made a community effort. And for people who want to give anywhere between $500 and up, they'll be featured on a plaque, and that's raised $29,000 for the campaign so far.
Wow, that's
so
awesome.
A real indication that every dollar counts, and that collectively, it's not, while we would love people to write 6- and 7-figure checks, and we don't turn those away, it really is, this is the community's shelter. This is the community's education center for animal welfare.
And every dollar adds up.
Absolutely.
And every dollar makes a difference.
Absolutely.
All of the money donated to the building project, it is going to stay right here.
Absolutely, absolutely. Everything is earmarked specifically for the campaign. We do keep, like we said, everything separate. So the furry affair, the walk for animals, the polar plunge, all of those community large-scale events that we do support our daily operations, and they're a large chunk of what we raise to support the daily operations. The campaign is above and beyond, and what we would love to see is those folks who are supporting us annually to consider making a stretch gift, an increased gift, even just a little bit towards the campaign.
Every dollar counts. It's so important.
Absolutely. Thank you.
And how long do you guys expect the project will take?
We think it'll take about a year once we break ground. So we are anticipating that we will open in 2017.
Wow, that's exciting.
It is.
We can't wait.
Yeah, exciting. So if anyone is interested and want to learn how they can donate or how they can get involved in supporting the program, who should they turn to?
If they are interested in funding the daily operations, they can contact Mary Sarah, and if they're interested in learning more about the campaign, they can reach out to me. We also have a website that we keep up to date. It's mspca.org/Cape Campaign. They can also go directly to the donate page if they'd prefer to do that and not learn about the campaign, and that's www.mspca.org/Cape2016.
Lovely.
So.
Awesome. Well, thank you both so much for being here and
Thank
telling
you.
us all about what new programs you'll be able to put in your new facility and telling us all about the project. We really appreciate it.
Thank you
We
very
appreciate
much.
being here. Thank you.
And good luck.
Thank
Thank
you.
you.
Mary Sarah Fairweather is the director of the MSPCA in Centerville, and Laura Hay is the director of the campaign for a new facility. For Barnstable This Morning, I'm Sarah Mannel.